Here we are present about Bank in Indonesia. Check it out.
Before we start our video, let me explain you something about why banks are so important. A well-functioning financial system is fundamental to a modern economy, and banks perform important functions for society. Banks should be able to lend money for consumers and businesses in both upturns and downturns. In addition, payments for goods and services should be processed swiftly, safely, and at low cost. Next, let me tell you something about banking in Indonesia. The outlook of Moody's for Indonesia's banking system is positive. The rating agency believes that banks in Indonesia will see improvements in asset quality and the operating environment, as well as in the capacity of the government to extend support when necessary.
Bank is a financial institution which deals with deposits and advances and related service.
Now about principle in banking. Bank has 4 principles when do its activities, that is 1. Fiduciary principle. Bank acts as an agent of trust. One of the bank activities is funding. In carrying out this activity, the bank collects funds from the public. Therefore, this activity must be based on the principle of trust. 2. Confidential principle. The principle of bank secrecy is very important to be maintained in the banking industry because this is the soul of the banking industry. In Article 40 of the banking law stipulates that what must be kept secret are customers and their deposit. 3. Prudential principle. In banking law, Article 2 of states that in conducting its business, Indonesian banking is based on economic democracy using the principle of prudence. The main purpose of a bank to apply the principle of prudence is to provide customer with protection and legal guarantees for the trust of the customer given to the bank in managing the funds they deposit. 4. Know your customer principle. This principle is applied by banks to know identity of customer and customer transaction, including reporting if there's something suspicious on customer transaction. The purpose is to identify the profile and character of customer transaction so that bank can identify suspicious transaction early to minimize operational risk, legal risk, concentration risk, and reputational risk.
Okay, the next one is bank function. Bank have several functions. The first one is bank as a place to saving and keep money. This is one of the functions that almost everyone may already know. Name the bank as a place to collect funds from the public through saving, time deposit, current account, or other forms of saving. The goal is to maintain the safety of this fund. In addition, each bank deposit product also offers different interest depending on what kind of product the customer chooses. The second function is bank as a place to channel funds. After the banks collect funds from the public, then they will distribute it to the parties in need through the credit or loan system. As is well known, through banks we can make a variety of loan or credit funds that can be tailored to the needs. And this is what they mean by the function of bank in channeling funds. For loan funds, customer can make a loan with a certain amount that has been agreed at the beginning, where the funds can later be used by customers themselves according to what they need. As for credits, bank usually provides several types of credit that customer can choose from, such as unsecured loan or KTA, home ownership loan or KPR, car loans, and many more. The third function is bank as a means of investment. Investment is one of the things that should be done early on. Not only to guarantee the future, investment can also be used as a place to save for realizing a goal. Even though there are currently a lot of institution engagement in investment, the function of bank, which can also be used as a means of investment, cannot be forgotten. There are so many investment instruments that you can choose according to your convenience and needs, such as investment in mutual funds, gold, derivative, foreign money, and stocks. The fourth function is bank as a place to store valuable goods. Not only used to save money, bank can also use to store valuables. If customers are hesitant to keep themselves at home, they can entrust this item to the banks, such as jewelry, gold certificates, and other items. And the last function is bank support smooth transaction. Banks can be used for various transaction purposes, both in national and international realms, such as receiving money, sending money, making payments, applying for credit cards, means of channeling employee salaries, and much more. Not only serving local currencies, banks also accept transaction activities in foreign currency. Sometimes there must be a customer who experience difficulties in transaction whenever it is due to geographic difference, distance, culture, and other things. Well, one of the functions of this bank is to make it easier for the public to settle various forms of transaction more easy and quickly.
I will presenting you about types of bank in Indonesia. There is three types of bank in Indonesia. The first one is based on its function, the second one is based on its operation, and the last one is based on ownership. For the types of bank based on its function, there is three types. The first one is central bank, responsible for monetary policies such as currency exchange stability, banking sector stability, and the overall financial system in a country. The second one is commercial banks, banks that carry out business activities conventionally or based on Sharia principles, which in their activities provide services in payment traffic in general. The third one is rural banks, banks that carry out business activities conventionally or based on Sharia principles, but in their activities didn't provide services in payment traffic. Next is types of bank based on its operation. There is two types. The first one is conventional banks, a bank whose business activities are to provide financial services and traffic in general according to the stipulated provisions. And the second one is Islamic banks, banks that carry out business activities based on Sharia principles or Islamic law principles. And the last one is types of bank based on ownership. There is four types. The first one is government bank, a bank established by the government or the state, and most of its shares are owned by the state. The second one is national private bank, a bank established by the national private sector, and most of its shares are held by national private sector. The third one is foreign bank, a bank owned by a foreign party from abroad that opens a branch in another country. The last one is cooperative bank, a bank whose share ownership and establishment is owned by a company legally incorporated as a cooperative.
Okay, I will tell you about banking in Indonesia tips. Banking in Indonesia are insured by Lembaga Penjamin Simpanan or LPS. Indonesian banks are not friendly when it comes to dispute resolution. If you lose your ATM card or credit card, you must immediately inform your bank and close the account. You may be held liable for any spending incurred between losing your card and calling the bank, which goes against all international banking norms. Keep the contact number of your bank handy so that you may call them immediately.
So, that's all our presenting about banking in Indonesia. We hope our video can be useful for others. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.